Let us go to the heroes and villains segment. We're running back Grunt the Pig this year. Pete, these are the people that have stood up for freedom and for liberty around the world. Go back to last week's episode if you want to hear the backstory of Grunt the Pig. But Pete, who is your hero this week?
My hero this week is, now I actually wrote this down wrong, it is the Taiwanese people.
Yep.
For voting for, I wrote Taiwanese election, which is just a sort of an odd way of saying it.
Yeah, that's not a person.
On Sunday, Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen, leader of the Democratic Progressive Party, won the Taiwanese election. She was already president, but she got voted in again. She got 57.1% of the vote, which is the largest backing given to a single party since Taiwanese presidential elections began, James, in 1996. The other side, the Kuomintang, took 38% of the vote. Now, they are the pro-Beijing party. The China factor is big in this one, James, in terms of the election. Tsai Ing-wen almost resigned in 2018 because she was so unpopular. But then once the thing in Hong Kong started, her popularity absolutely surged. And she played on that, as a politician does. And she's like the pro-democracy candidate. And the fact that it was the highest vote ever is fantastic. Now, she also had, during this period, an election ad. It is in Mandarin, but it's so good we're going to play a few seconds of it anyway. Saul, why don't you run the tape on this?
我们凭什么享受民主自由？请再看一眼我们的孩子，答案就在他们的眼中。
So for those who are listening and don't know Mandarin, which is probably a few of you, those words meant, why do we deserve democracy and freedom? Please take another look at our children. The answer is in their eyes. Google that ad and you will have a look, and it goes for like 2 or 3 minutes and it's awesome.
So there is a big link between this and the Hong Kong protests.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
That's the key factor.
All right, cool. So over to my hero of the week. So similar foreign policy and people standing up to oppressive regimes around the world.
That's what people tune in for, mate.
So in Iran, there are all these protests as a result of the bombing of Iraq / the bombing of that airplane that was shot out of the sky. Mm-hmm. Iran originally tried to say that it was America's fault, and I saw a few people in America go like, well, if Trump hadn't killed the guy, then this never would have happened, which is an outrageous take. But anyway, so it doesn't seem to have cut through to the Iranian people. There have been protests, which is insane because, well, not insane, but like so brave because the Iranian government, not last year, was shooting protesters in the streets where people are back out there right now protesting the government. And it's really important. It's incredible to see. But like this one clip, I really thought I was just like, I was blown away. It was what appears to be like the story goes, and it's hard to verify all of this, but the story goes like there was a protest. The government laid down the American flag and the Israeli flag so that they could then film it and say, look at these protesters stamping over these flags. Mm-hmm. Now, I think we can play the clip now. And for people listening at home, the protesters form lines around the flag so that no one steps on it. I think we got the clip.
Yep.
So
yeah. You shut up! You shut up! You shut up! You shut up! You shut up!
So for people that couldn't see, the booing was a result of someone walking across the American flag. So not only are people going out of their way to avoid stepping on the American flag, stepping on the Israeli flag, they're actively booing people that are doing that. Mm-hmm. And you just think like the stuff that we get told about what the Middle East's views are on the US and on Israel, to then see that, you just go, this is something completely new.
Exactly right. And as you can see, apparently those people walking across the flag were regime people.
Right.
So they paid,
just trying to get people.
Trying to get it started.
Yeah, it's just like, we just need the first person to take the cannonball into the pool and then everyone will be in there.
Exactly right. But so very strong start for the Iranians. They won it last year and they're back.
Indeed. All right, let's go over to the villain segment. So, Pete, who is your villain of the week?
So, James, I've got an admission to make.
Okay.
I forgot to do the notes for my villain.
All right, let me help Pete out. So, Pete's villain this week.
Oh, you've actually got the image.
Pete's villain this week was Peter. So, Pete, take him here.
Mate, this guy...
My villain this week might be Peter, but I'll stick to my original
I like to whinge about Bolt, but every now and then he just does something like this. Congratulations, James. Mm-hmm. My villain is Peter, what's that stand for?
People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals.
Yeah, it's 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
So,
do you want me to do the show? You could just go sit in the corner with a juice box.
I would absolutely love that. No, so they put out a tweet on National Milk Day, which was this week, and it said dairy products are gross. It's up on the screen for those watching. And in that tweet, in that image, it included yogurt, sour cream, cheese, butter, and cream cheese. Peter, those items are not gross. You can talk how you want about the, treatment of animals and all that stuff, Those things are not gross, and you are not going to win by trying to claim that sour cream is gross.
The other part is, if we can get the image back up here, like not only are they denigrating this good name of 5 products, or like, well, 4 good products and then yogurt, but like all of them are in like their state of unrefrigerated disarray. Like the butter is melting, the cheese is stinky, the sour cream is overrunning. Like, did the social media person to Peter just out themselves as someone that's never owned a fridge?
Yeah.
Like, how would you ever have that sort of cognitive like link between, well, the only cheese I've ever seen stinks and the only butter I've ever seen is melted. Therefore, why do people have them? It's like, well, because we have fridges, dude.
Well, and you know what it is? It's cherry picking.
It's cherry picking.
You're taking butter in that state and not in its more common state.
For people that aren't around Pete 24/7, cherry picking has been Pete's word of the year.
It's my new thing.
He's accused 5 people of it a day. He loves it. Get used to hearing it. All right. My villain of the week is this guy, Timothy Burke, on Twitter. He's like this social media PR guy.
This is good.
Now, yesterday, or Tuesday rather, was the College Football National Championship, the biggest day in college football in the United States.
Who won?
LSU won by 17.
Cool.
Go Coach O. Go Tigers. And so Vince Vaughn was also there. He's a big college football guy, big fan of LSU, the winning team. And Timothy Burke happened to find a video from the event and tweeted out, "I'm very sorry to have to share this video with you, all of it, every part of it." So let's see what disturbed him so much. And again, for people at home, this is the terrifying image of Vince Vaughn and President Trump having a polite and pleasant conversation.
What are they talking about?
We should have put a trigger warning on this one, because they're definitely talking
hands.
about old school, and now they're shaking hands. So, Timothy, like, this is a bad look for Timothy. Like, if that is something that you are so sorry to, you still do it, but you're so sorry to have to share it with everyone, all of it, every part of it. Like, what's the alternative? Like, it's like the idea that every form of communication should just either be nodding or outright screaming at the other person. Like, that is the only form of communication you can have.
Oh, exactly right. It's like Alan and George Bush last year. What is it with football games and putting up these situations?
And uniting common enemies. But anyway, like, if you want Trump, this is how you get Trump.
Yeah.
If this is the world that you want to put forward to people, is like, how can we possibly have 2 people having a polite conversation? One of them's the president. No one's going to vote for you ever.
Exactly right. And the other thing about this is we need to get Vince Vaughn on the program because he's a conservative.
Libertarian. But yeah,